Today, I'm going to sit down and discuss 75 Hard, a pretty popular challenge made popular by Andy Frizzelli, I think that's how I say his name anyways, which involves a couple of basic daily principles which you do every single day for 75 days. I took this challenge on in January 1st. So in this video, I'm going to be diving into why I did the challenge, what I thought of the challenge, how I got through the challenge, and obviously the key principles in 75 Hard. So if you're keen and interested to see what happens, stick along for the video. So I started on January 1st with this challenge. 75 Hard involves no alcohol, sticking to a diet of your choice, 2 45-minute workouts a day. One must be outside, reading 10 pages of a book, and taking a photo every single day. And as you've probably seen from the thumbnail, I was not in the best shape and I finished in much better shape. Those two pictures were from the start of pre-season. The one where I'm not looking great was a photo taken by my physio before I got my shoulder operation. And the one after was a shoot that I did with a photographer just after 75 Hard. So January 1st, I decided to take on this challenge. 75 Hard, 75 days, no alcohol, 2 workouts a day. Oh, forgot to mention, a gallon of water a day, which is about 4 litres, 3.8 litres in total. I think I was drinking well over 4 litres anyways. Forgot to mention that. So, January 1st, I decided to take on this challenge. Why did I decide to do that? Well, about a month prior, I got a shoulder operation. I tore my labrum playing rugby the season beforehand, and I played all year with a torn labrum. So about a month prior, I got my shoulder up, and at around Christmas time, I got the go ahead to take the sling off, roughly just after Christmas. So January 1st, my sling was coming off. I was about 4 to 5 weeks post operation, and we were exactly 76 days away from round 1 of the championship season. So the rugby season was starting back 76 days later. What better time to take on a challenge? 75 Hard. So January 1st, I was away in Luxembourg for day 1. So I began in the hotel gym, going for walks outside, doing my workouts, started my diet. Didn't drink on New Year's Eve. Actually barely drank over the whole of Christmas, to be honest. I think I had one night out with my mates on the 23rd of December, and that was it. But so I was prepping myself already for the time off alcohol. But as I was saying, started on January 1st with 75 Hard. And to be honest, it's difficult starting in a different country, but throughout the whole period of doing 75 Hard, I was home in Dublin. I was in Luxembourg, as I said, when I started. I did a training camp in Marbella. I went to Milan, and then obviously spent the rest of the time at home, which is the easy part, really. When you're at home, you can manage it. So it was 76 days till round 1. I was coming off the back of a shoulder injury, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take on this challenge for the next 75 days. And it transformed my mindset, my business, so my personal training, online coaching business, my physique, and just overall my health and energy felt great. My recovery was great for my shoulder. Every single day I was progressing, and I was genuinely feeling so good, as well as reading books. I don't know if I said that either. 10 pages. Yeah, I think I did. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So, the basis of the challenge is obviously a mental resilience. Mental resilience challenge, really. You're trying to callous the mind. You're trying to improve that mentality and gain that little bit of momentum. It's sort of like monk mode. A lot of people online are talking about monk mode at the minute. So it's quite similar to monk mode, but you are dialing in for 75 days. You're giving up drinking, reading books, exercising every single day. So as a professional rugby player, this is something you may think we do every single day anyways, but 2 45-minute workouts, even on your days off away from rugby, isn't quite as easy as you think. So here is how I went about it. So on rugby days, it was simple. All I had to do was turn up, 45 minutes on the pitch, 45 minutes in the gym. We do well over that anyways. That was easy. Read my 10 pages, drink my gallon of water, take my photo, and stick to the diet. The diet that I chose, I gave up all fizzy drinks, all crisps, all chocolate, all sweets, eating no processed food, no McDonald's, no KFC. So I cut everything out. I didn't stick exactly to a calorie diet, nor did I stick to a whole foods diet, a vegan diet, anything like that. I just removed all processed rubbish, no cookies, no biscuits, nothing like that. I was eating clean whole foods, meats and fruit, and that's what got me diced. That's what got me lean and fit. Of course, I was obviously training as well. The training split I was running, as I was previously saying, rugby training days were easy. We trained 3 nights a week, then had a game on a Sunday in which I wasn't playing for the cup rounds prior to round one. So I was aiming to be fit for round one. That was my target with the physios after the shoulder operation. So everything was sort of coming full circle. So my week sort of looked like Monday was an outdoor walk or an outdoor workout. Sometimes it'd be a bit of rugby extra skills. Sometimes it would be like just simply going for a walk. Very rarely a run, just due to the volume of rugby. Tuesday would be my training day with training, so that would be gym, weights, field conditioning. Wednesday I would get an extra weight session, a stretch and mobility session in, and then I'd either do outdoor swim, walk again. Thursday, Friday were rugby days, and then Saturday, Sunday were extra weights, conditioning, walking, swimming, and that was what I was doing to get that extra bit of gym volume in. The diet we've already covered. The books I was reading, here's 2 of them here. I read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This was absolutely awesome. So I finished that. I had already started that prior to the challenge. I read Poke the Box, which is only a little short book. So I read that. I read Gung Ho, and then The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. If you've not read this, I highly recommend it. I'll probably do a breakdown or separate video about books that I've read that I've really enjoyed, that have really helped benefit my mindset as a professional rugby player. But this is eye-opening, and I think it's a bit dusty actually. I hope I can't see that in the video. One of the biggest takeaways from this is the human tongue is one of the most dangerous weapons that you have for yourself. Can tie yourself up in knots. So really, really enjoyed those 2 books. So 10 pages a day, taking a photo, drinking the gallon, and sticking to that diet. That was absolutely awesome. But when we're talking about the realities of actually taking on this challenge, it's not quite so straightforward because life gets in the way. So here are my tips if you are doing 75 hard, how to manage the overall challenge. Number 1, pick a diet that's realistic and make it work for you. If you are trying to eat, let's say, a carnivore diet, and then you are on the go all the time, you're going to just crumble in 75 hard because you're not going to be able to get those types of foods in when you're out and about. You're not going to be able to get those meats, get those things in. So pick a diet that works and is realistic. For myself, it was whole foods. It was eating clean, quality sources of protein, quality fruit and veg, a lot of organic and grass-fed based stuff, as well as avoiding those processed foods. So by being able to do that and being a bit flexible, I was able to go away, do training camp in Marbella, go to Milan, eat in Luxembourg, and I wasn't stuck. I wasn't like, I'm not at home, I can't function, I'm going to break my challenge. Number 2, dedicate 30 minutes a day to your reading. If you don't block out 30 minutes to do your reading, it's not going to get done. You're going to fail the challenge. It is the hardest part of the challenge by a country mile, reading the 10 pages. Off the back of 2 workouts, off the back of dieting, drinking water, busy days with work and whatever you do. For myself, it was rugby training. The last thing you want to do is sit down and read 10 pages when you're wrecked. You're getting up at 5 a.m. You're doing all these things. It is important to block out those 30 minutes to get your reading done. Number 3, stick to a program. You need a program. You need a structure to your training. You need to plan out in your head how you are going to actually go about the challenge. Because let me tell you, if you start out with 45-minute runs, which for a lot of people will be between 8 and 10 kilometers of running, for myself anyways, and then you're doing a 45-minute heavy weights day, about 7 or 14 days in, your body is going to start to break down. So you need to pair your outdoor workouts with walking, outdoor swimming, maybe extra skills. For myself, it was rugby. If you play Gaelic football, hurling, rugby union, soccer, you can pair your outdoor workouts, which is doing a little skills top up there. Anything like that, maybe hiking, climbing, just something outdoors. It does not have to be a run. So do not mistake that. Pull a bike outside. Go for a cycle, pull a rower outside, do 45 minutes on the rower, because you're going to need that lack of load on your joints. Get the water in early. If you do not drink your water early, you're going to be up all night going to the toilet. It's simple as that. it is really important to get the water in early, because if not, you will literally fail this challenge again. And then number 5 is just have good people around you. I started the challenge off with all of the boys. We were all on the same page. None of us were going out. None of us were drinking. No one was tempting each other into doing those kind of things. So don't bother going to the pub if you can't trust yourself. And that's just part of the challenge. So it will not be for everyone. But if you can't go out to a nightclub or to a pub without drinking, then to be honest, the challenge 1, it isn't for you. And that's just a harsh reality. But 2, you just shouldn't go. There's nothing wrong with, 75 days, 2.5 months of saying to your mates, "No, sorry, I'm not going to the pub." It's 2.5 months. It is literally a sixth of the year. It's not even a fifth, it's a sixth of the year. 20% of the year, maybe, if that. Me doing quick maths, getting confused. Trying to figure it out. But listen, it is not that long of the year. You can easily just say, "No, I do not want to go out." So now that we've talked about simple ways to actually make the challenge work, I'm going to actually dive into my own personal experience about the challenge as a professional rugby player, and would I recommend it to other professional athletes. So let's talk about, firstly, the mental battle of 75 hard. The reason athletes either go towards it or run away from 75 hard is because of that mental battle. Can you dedicate 75 days to getting to that next stage, getting to that next level, unlocking that mental achievement? Because it's actually more of a mental battle than it is physical. Once you've nailed your programming, nailed your diet, you've dialed in actually blocking out 30 minutes for reading, the gallon of water is fairly easy, taking the photos fairly easy, all you have to do is take a photo in the mirror, and you're dialed all that in, you're not drinking. The only part that's difficult is doing it consecutively, doing it for 75 days straight without actually missing. So for most athletes, this is really important. But some people run away and say, "Nah, that's not for me." And some people actually dive into the fact that, yeah, this is going to be a difficult challenge, but this is why I'm going to do it. But is it a realistic challenge for athletes, and is it something they can do? My honest answer is probably not. So if you have games, if you're in season, or if you do not have a time where, like myself, I had a 76-day window till round 1, so 75 hard slotted in perfect. If you're in off season, rip in. If you're coming off the back of an injury, rip in. If you don't have games for 3 months, rip in. Absolutely. But if you're in season and you're going to start trying this challenge, you will more likely than not end up actually breaking yourself just due to the amount of volume and training. But do I still think athletes should take on this challenge? Absolutely. Every single athlete should try 75 hard at some stage in their career. Even if you're not a professional athlete, you should take on the challenge, because seriously, it is life-changing. The growth that I see, and as I said, from myself personally and throughout my business and my overall health and energy, was something that I can't even describe. But it will take a lot of discipline, and it will come at a cost. You will have to say no to certain things. You will have to be a bit resilient towards people coming in from the outside saying, "Why are you doing that? Oh, just come for a beer. Oh, just have that cheat meal. Why can't we go for a McDonald's? Why can't we go for X, Y, or Z?" So now a lot of you are probably thinking, you've just said you were in Marbella, in Milan, you started it off in Luxembourg, you went back to Dublin. Dublin, Marbella and Milan, by the way, I'll link them below in the caption, but the vlogs are up there so everyone can see me doing 75 hard. The vlogs are there to hold myself accountable. I did not miss, but you're probably thinking, how did I actually go about going to these places and sticking to 75 hard? Well, I planned out how I'm going to do my workouts. For Marbella and Dublin, I had access to really, really high quality gyms. So I made sure that I got those done. I got those gym sessions. The whole point of Marbella, it was actually a training camp. Dublin and Milan were a bit different. Dublin, obviously, I was home, so I could get to gyms. In Milan, I planned out all my walking, all my training around the fact that I was only doing 48 hours there. Dieting, everything that I ate, I didn't eat any chips, no processed, no fried foods, no McDonald's, KFC, no grabbing packs of Lay's, packs of crisps when you're away, which was one of the hardest parts. But it was always worth it because I got to travel and got to go away. But again, I was planning my restaurants out. Do they do steaks? Do they do a clean pasta? What kind of food can I actually eat while I'm away? I was going to the shops picking up some mangoes or blueberries for breakfast, so I wasn't reaching for something dirty, grabbing some cheese or some McDonald's breakfast, So that was one of the most difficult things in terms of traveling. And again, you need to bring the books with you. You have to pack them in your bag, because if you don't pack the books, you're going to struggle. And again, what I did when I was away is I took smaller, thinner books, little self-help books like Gung Ho and Poke the Box, and Who Moved My Cheese, I forgot to mention that, I read that as well. Books like those, because I knew when I'm on the go, if I bring a thin book that's only about 90 to 100 pages, I can read it on the plane, it's not going to weigh my backpack down. The final note I'm going to talk about with 75 hard, because if you do take on this challenge, you're going to level up physically and mentally, as I said, is that personal growth will be something that you will not be able to forget once the 75 days are done. You will have built habits for a lifetime. And I'm telling you, these are positive, life-changing habits. So don't let yourself think after the 75 days, you won't read again, you won't exercise again, you will not stick to a diet. Since 75 hard, which I've obviously finished now, I'm back playing. I got through that first match on day 76. I came back from my shoulder injury. My body was feeling great. I was leaner, fitter and healthier. And since then, I have indeed enjoyed a beer, which I will dive into another video about alcohol and training. But I am back sober again. So I'd say about 4 weeks ago, maybe it's slightly longer, I had one night, I had a few beers. It was really enjoyable. But since then, I've not touched a drink. I've been really strict with my diet. I only had my first McDonald's after the game on Sunday just gone. So I didn't run myself straight into McDonald's. I wasn't getting lots of cravings. And as you become more disciplined, you actually find that things work out better and you build that momentum that you don't really crave the things you used to crave prior. So alcohol, I did 99 days sober. So I didn't even reach for a beer straight away after 75 hard. I did 99 days sober. The year prior, I did 90 days sober. I'm back not drinking again. So alcohol I didn't reach for. The fast food and the cravings, I think they were pretty manageable. I think I really struggled without chocolate chip cookies, which are admittedly, they're my kryptonite. I do love a chocolate chip cookie, but fizzy drinks, McDonald's, all those kind of things, KFC, was no issue to me at all. And I've still been keeping up on top of my reading, and the habits that I've built from documented 75 hard not only exploded my own personal growth, my own knowledge, my business also took off as well. So my personal brand and my personal training business just blew up as well. So all in all, the challenge was a massive success for me. And as you can see from the photos, the visual aspect, I was leaner, I was feeling fitter on the rugby field, and I managed to come back off the back of a shoulder injury and get myself back playing. So overall, I would recommend anybody, male or female, take on this challenge. If you want to build discipline, test yourself mentally, and take on something new that's going to see an exponential personal growth after 75 days. And let me know in the comments below if you've done 75 hard before, or if you're thinking of doing it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.